I am a chronically negative thinker, but over the last month I wanted to change that. I never think that just listing the things that I'm grateful for is really gonna make a difference. Part of the negative thinking, but let me tell you, this way of looking at life is crucial for your self-development. It literally rewires the way that you think, the way that you perceive the world, and the way that you feel about everything. And I'm gonna explain why. But first, hello beautiful people of the internet, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jaden. I post a lot of lifestyle content, a lot of wellness content, a lot of self-help content, but today we're going to talk about one of my series, the 365 plan. I did put it like on pause. I thought I wasn't really going to do anything with it for these last few months because it felt very pressuring to make videos on it when some of my challenges weren't that good to me or that successful, or I just didn't want to make a full video on them. But this month I actually came up with a pretty good one, and I feel like I learned a lot from it, so I want to talk about it. So if you don't know, the 365 plan is my little series of 30-day challenges based upon things that I either really wanted to do or just kind of considered doing my whole life, but I didn't feel like I had the time to do them. Stuff like meditation, stretching, writing, even playing video games. Like, I did it all. And this month, because of a different challenge that I have going on in the background, I know, a lot of challenges here, I wanted to do something that would just make me a little bit happier and really start changing my brain to not look at life so negatively. So I started a gratitude challenge. And before you say it, this is not just like, I am grateful for XYZ. Although that's not a half bad place to start. I kind of want to talk about where I started and what tips I'm kind of learning along the way to make this a bit easier and to make it not feel as stupid and repetitive. So first, let me talk about some of the science behind gratitude. When you're practicing gratitude, you're literally training your brain to think positively and to look for things that you wouldn't otherwise look for. Basically meaning the things that you are seeking out are the things that you will find. And this is kind of all how manifestation works as well. If you don't believe me, think of a specific color, a specific number, a specific symbol, just something along those lines. And then over the next week, notice how much you're actively seeing those things. Why a lot of people care about angel numbers, or if you're someone who looks for 1111 to make a wish, even if you're searching for like 4-leaf clovers, they're very rare, right? Like, if you intentionally try to seek them out, it's gonna be very hard for you to actually find one, but I promise you, you're gonna have more of a chance than someone who's just walking around not even looking for them at all. Basically, the things that we put in our spotlight, we're more likely to notice them because we're seeking them out. And this is how it works with like job opportunities and relationships and good ideas. Like, the more you're actively hunting for these positive things and these opportunities, you're gonna find them and you're gonna find ways to make them work. In that same sense, if you're kind of searching for a good thought in everything, you're gonna find one. I promise you, looking for a positive outlook in any given situation is actually easier than finding a 4-leaf clover. And if you've ever met someone who's like super positive, super optimistic, super glass half full, you'll know just from listening to them that there's always a way to be like, hey, this is positive. Even if to you it kind of sounds like bullshit, I promise to them, they're really thinking that way. And maybe you recognize this. You understand that positive thinking has a positive effect on your life, and you know about manifestation, you know about all of this. It's just that when you actually try to do gratitude exercises, it just doesn't come very naturally to you. You're thinking, how do I get from point A to point B? Like, I'm super negative already. How am I just gonna become this person who looks on the brighter side of life every single day for every single situation? And the point is, like everything else in life, it's not an immediate turnover. It's a gradual thing, and it's a muscle that you have to train. You may feel some results after the first day, but it's not like your life is gonna feel like it's entirely changed. And I know that's what you're wanting. You're wanting to be positive because you're wanting to be happy, and that will happen eventually. You just have to put in the work, just like with everything else in life. I promise you, practice makes perfect. But I know a lot of people like me too have also tried, even for long periods of time, and just don't feel like their mind is changing. Like, they feel like they're stubborn, they feel like they're just inherently negative. And I'm gonna explain to you how to really change the way your gratitude is working for you. So first of all, I want you to focus on the 5 senses. I'll be honest, this one is not the easiest for me because I'm not really much of a foodie. I don't like a lot of smells. Like, all of my sensations and all of my feelings come internally. Like, there's nothing external that really really does it for me, except, you know, maybe like the sun on my skin or a good song or a hug from my favorite person. And then, you know, even when you're not so into the senses, you can still find things. And that is where I want you to start. Also, a lot of people try to start with the right hiding, and I'm kind of saying don't even do that. Wake up one day, decide that you're gonna start looking for these things, and then do it. Literally go about your entire day and focus on your sensations. If you're mostly feeling a lot of bad, then focus on the things that are giving you relief. So if you are being really in tune with yourself and you're noticing that your sensations, like you're feeling a lot of pain in your body, you're feeling like itchy, you're feeling cold, and all of those things are really like stressing you out, look at the alternative and force some of those things upon yourself. If you're hurting all the time, give yourself a massage, get out a massage gun, take a bubble bath. If you're itchy and you're dry, maybe put on some lotion. If you're cold, then get a blanket and then focus on that. Focus on what is making you feel good despite those bad sensations. But of course, if you can just find a good sensation, then focus on that as well. Like I said, good music, good smells, good taste, touch from the people around you, or even just like certain textures that you really like. The feeling of a blanket, the feeling of your own skin, the feeling of a warm shower. That's a good place to start. That same idea, focus on specific moments that you had or certain experiences. Because that's a little less obvious in the senses, I have some kind of trigger questions, and this is the same thing. Of course, you can look back while journaling, but I like to search for these things throughout the day so I know what to reflect on at the end of the day. So what made me smile today, or what will make me smile today, or what is making me smile right now? What recent challenge taught me something? Who/what made my life easier today and how? What am I looking forward to? What do I have now that I once wished for? Any of those questions or similar questions will definitely make you look for specific moments, but I really like to look for like what made me happy, what made me grateful, what made me smile, what made me think, what challenged me. And once you start kind of getting the hang of this, you'll realize that every situation can be grouped into some kind of positive emotion. Even all your hard moments could be challenges that make you stronger. All the things that make you sad can make you appreciative of everything else that doesn't. My next and even more important tip to me is to be as specific as possible. Sure, we all know you're grateful that you have a roof over your head, that you can eat, grateful for your family, grateful for your friends, but why? Don't just be general and say, oh, I'm grateful for my family because I love them. Get specific. Indicate why these people are important to you, why you love them, why they make you happy, why you keep them in your life. I use the word because in pretty much every single one of my gratitude statements. I want to get into the real reason why these things are important to me. I also really like to reword sentence structure, saying I'm grateful for, or I appreciate, or I'm happy. That doesn't always do it for me. Sometimes I just start with the situation. So I'll just say something like, a coworker complimented my hairstyle today and that made me feel good. I'm not gonna say I'm grateful that a coworker complimented my hairstyle today, because for me that doesn't resonate with me in the same way. It doesn't feel as meaningful. It sounds robotic. I still have kind of a general structure for most of my sentences. I do like to say I'm happy about, or I'm happy because. I also like to say I love XYZ, or I feel, or it feels good, but I do really try to avoid I'm so grateful or I'm so appreciative unless it like really feels like that's what I need in the moment. And I found that's really helped me. Honestly, you don't even have to put like a feeling word. You can just say that this thing happened. I also like to add reflection questions or reflection statements at the end, basically saying like, this is what these statements are teaching me, or what can I learn about these statements, or what more could I go into with these statements? That really trains me into further thinking about it. I also like to go back and reread these entries one time a week or so. Just really try to remind myself what was making me happy and try to relive those old moments. If it's something that you can visualize and you know exactly where you were or exactly what you were feeling during that time, put yourself back into the situation. Feel it again. Visualize it again. I also think that making kind of a ritual for the whole experience is really good. It can be whatever you want. I like to do it around the same time of day. I actually do mine in the morning to kind of set the tone for the day. I know a lot of people like to do it at the end of the day. I try to do some of it before I go to sleep just in my mind, but when I'm writing it down, it's in the morning. That way I can kind of go about my whole entire day with those things in mind. Here's actually my first ones that I put in here that I made sure I put a lot of thought and effort into. It's really nice to meet people that show that humanity is still good. When I have encounters with strangers and they're very respectful and validating when I make mistakes, it's a reminder that I don't need to be perfect to be shown respect and to be supported. Also, being honest and real is appreciated. I love that I managed to listen to my body in one way without compromising another. I opted for more sleep this morning, which led to a breakfast with less effort, but I pivoted and changed my plans to still get in a proper amount of nutrition today. Thinking ahead has served me well, and I'm appreciative of my past and current self for being so generous to me. Resources like my Aura Ring are so helpful for tuning in to how I'm actually doing and taking my mind away from what needs to get done. It helps me focus on myself first and foremost, slow down, and show myself more care and compassion. Then I have in little bullet points underneath. This is showing me that it's okay to be human and that honesty is always a good thing flexibility is a superpower and tuning into yourself is a good thing as well. And then I had a question that said, what are some things that are going to take me out of my head today and put me into my body? And I let that kind of set the tone and guide my brain into that positive way of thinking, but specific for what I needed on that current day, clearly. And sometimes they aren't as exciting, but they're still all at least slightly detailed. Like one of the things I put on Friday is I'm happy that we get a 3-day weekend and that I have some extra time to myself. Simple, but still sets the tone and will keep me reminded throughout the weekend that it's so nice to have this extra time. So this is a lot of advice, but if you guys are wondering how this has really affected me, I think it's kind of clear for me to say this has been pretty helpful. I haven't been perfect about doing it every day, as I have not with a lot of these other challenges, but this is something that I want to happen gradually over time and to come really naturally to me. I wanted it to start being ingrained into my everyday thinking and not have it just be a chore that I'm doing just because I feel like I have to. So this is the way I think it's going to be the most helpful for me, and so far I've been loving it. I think I'm having a lot of positive effects from it. I feel like I'm becoming a more confident and more happy version of myself than I ever really have been because I'm focusing on my thinking. Like in the past, there wasn't really a day that would go by that I didn't just complain about everything, and now it's more one-off. Like maybe I'll have like one day a week max where I'm like, this is a day to just be unhappy with everything and to just be mad at myself. I've been telling my boyfriend it's a hate on me day or beat myself up day, and then I do it for that day and then I get over it and I move on. And yes, ideally I would like those days to be very limited, to even more so than once a week, but that's kind of where we're at right now, and I know it's gonna get better because I've been training myself to have this positive thinking and to realize that things really do always get better. You just have to believe and you just have to push. You can't get knocked down. You can't just believe that just because it didn't work out the first time that it's never gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Things are gonna be better. So yeah, I would say this challenge has been a success and I'm gonna continue it. This is gonna be one that is not gonna stop just at the 30-day mark. But I think that's all I have to say for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a comment, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in my next video, but if not, bye-bye.